All right, gentlemen, I thought it would be cool to show you guys a little bit of how I prep for the winter season, whether, or, just for any natural disaster at any time of year, but I get a little bit more into it in the winter and make sure I have everything I need. So let's just go ahead and inventory together, because these are some of the things you guys may need. And, this is just what I do. So this is not backpack stuff or anything like that. A lot of this stuff I'll move in and out of my bags, but mainly most of this stuff is set for the house. And there's a couple of new things I wanted to show you on the table. So anyway, let's just get started. So a good saw, right? Got to have a good saw, a way to cut your wood and make fire. This is the Samurai Ichiban. It's the one with the, yeah, I'm not going to open it all up, but this thing's badass. And then, I just keep a more knife around. This is more or less the food prep option of knives, because my main knife is obviously a William Collins survival knife. That thing is pretty heavy. So that's that. And you don't have to get those. You can get something cheap, but you're gonna have some knives, but these are not just your kitchen knives. These are knives these are work knives. You're going to use these to be cutting wood or trimming or doing whatever, so you can heat up and cook and boil water. All right, so when you're doing that work, when you're out of power, I know what it's like to be out of power, because whether a snowstorm came and wiped power out for 3 or 4 days, or I just didn't pay my electric bill because I was a young adult and I didn't give a crap. So either way, I've been there and I've done it. I'm just being honest and real with you guys. It happens. All right, so I thought the dog was being bad. She is, but she's all right. So for emergency food rations, I keep these around, not for a replacement for food. Sometimes I'll throw a bar or two in my backpack, but these are more or less when I'm burning calories, cutting wood or running around, doing whatever, because you have no power, so it's very uncomfortable and you have to do extra things and be extra constantly. So yeah, keep those around just for that. Don't replace food with those. Most important thing though, you're gonna need to have a way to freshen water if you don't have bottles of water stored. I try to keep a few months of water in my house at all times, so usually okay, but if you don't, maybe invest in something like this. You can get these on Amazon, little aqua tablets, and a Sawyer water filter. You can go, dip in the lake if you have a lake nearby. You can go fill up a couple gallons and, do what you got to do with a mixture and have yourself some fresh water. This isn't important, but I did get a new compass. Pretty cool, right? This is a Sun 2. It's not the one I really wanted, but that's what I want it for now. Ways, so if you're not going to do anything, you can boil water in this, make soups in this, whatever. We'll go over a couple different cooking options, and then I'll show you my main emergency house cooking option. So, you're in your house, so you're not really worried about, cold so much per se, because you have tons of blankets around, but it just doesn't hurt to have a heavy-duty utility blanket, Just keep that around. Not these little chintzy ones. If you have them, fine, but try to get a good one, Spend good money on this stuff, guys. This is your life, and maybe you have a family. I'm a bachelor, but, maybe you're a family man. Maybe you're married, have kids. These are some of the things you're going to need times 2, So think about this kind of stuff. It can happen to anyone. Radio contact, this is not the go-to, but you're definitely going to need to hear what's going on here. So this is the one I would use. This is solar powered. I've been trying it out. It works great. It's been in the window for about a month. So I try to leave it in there, but this is the Eton Scorpion. This is a great radio for emergencies. Sorry, the freaking phone never wants to autofocus. So ways to start fire. Multiple ways to start fire. Lighters, ferrocerium rods, Vaseline mix and cotton balls, storm-proof matches, and little magnesium. But, I'll show you my, if you need to start fire to cook, fine. The way I'm going to do that, if I do need to, is in this folding stove. And let me just fold that up real quick and I'll show you guys. Okay, so there you go with the little amber lit stove. This is a great thing to have around. You can feed the fire into it. I like this one a lot. Boil water, whatever. This is a folding bowl. You guys seen this on the channel before. It folds up into a little bowl. These are great because you could put them in your pack, you know, if need to. So let me just go show you though real quick my main option for food. I'm not gonna sit there and feed fire into a little ember lit stove. So I keep sorry for the lighting, but I keep a year supply of these Columbia propane things and a little Columbia propane stove. So that is my go-to. So yeah, that's how I'll cook my food on that stove, but it works. It's just a lot more convenient, and you can do it right out front or, you know, whatever. So storm-proof matches, great to have around. Ways to light fire, multiple ways. I think I said that already. So anyway, safety glasses. You don't want to end up with crap in your eyes. Something comes and hits your eye, you're pretty much screwed. So, you know, keep your eyes protected. And this all comes into a good, well-rounded EDC. So, you know, keep flashlights around, guys. Get yourself a good multi-tool. It's going to have a saw on it anyway. Get yourself some AAA batteries and AAA flashlights, not just these CR123s and all these crazy flashlights. Get yourself something with a lot of batteries that you might have in remote controls around your house, just stuff that's household items, you know. You don't want to be relying on a CR123 battery when, you know, nobody's going to have that. No stores are going to have it. So get yourself a AAA headlamp and some AAA batteries. All right, I tend to keep batteries. They're everywhere. They're around. I'm not going to get to them, but let's get into some medical stuff. So you're definitely going to need your trauma kits. You may not be able to get to a hospital. You know, the roads may be snowed in. They may not be able to get to you in time. You know, you got a bad cut, something happens. You never know, so keep a tourniquet. I keep several tourniquets all around my house. These are the packs that are usually in my car or whatever. But if a natural disaster did happen and we're not mobile, we're staying in, we're hunkered down, I'm bringing this into the house. There's a dedicated house one that's in my room, but it's basically the same exact thing. It has tourniquets. It's a trauma kit for the house. But I'll bring that one in too. This is my personal IFAC, so we're going to have that as well. Now, you have animals and pets, right? Got to have something for your dog. So this is all dog-related first aid stuff. You know, dogs are treated a little bit differently. They don't have main arteries running through their legs and stuff like humans do. You know, so a lot of times it's either a paw injury or something of that nature. So, you know, but they do get, I mean, they do have arteries and stuff, but, you know, I just keep stuff specific just for more or less paw and leg injuries and stuff like that. Dogs have a very extremely high tolerance for pain. So, you know, unless the dog's head's hanging off, she's probably fine. So anyway, beyond all that stuff, keep yourself a year's supply of toilet paper. You should do this anyway, in my opinion. So a year's supply of toilet paper. I have 2 more of these. I'm just showing you what toilet paper. Not that you don't know what toilet paper looks like. I'm just saying. Get yourself another year's supply of soap too, just in case. I mean, this may sound like more or less like, you know, the end of the world shit, but at the same time, you know, you should have a year's supply of those kind of things, soap and toilet paper, you know, because if it did get worse, those are the things that you're not going to be able to get and you're going to want. Now, after long term, you shouldn't rely on toilet paper like you're talking years and zombie apocalypse. You know, we're getting out of hand now, but you don't want to rely on toilet paper because you are going to run out eventually. So then you're going to be like, what the heck? All right, so I don't know. So if you want to store this stuff around your house, you can either use a box or you can use something like that. That's what I use. You can find these maybe like a lot of times like mail. The mail place will be throwing them out, or different plants. I obviously got this from work, so you can use that, and you can, you know, go to different factories, maybe look around their dumpsters and just clean it out. But up to you. I keep these little survival cards around too with tons and tons of tape. But let me just show you guys beyond all this stuff, some tools and stuff you should have around. So I always keep one of these around. This is cool to have. This is just a little air compressor. This goes in my car, but it's also good for just emergencies, because, you know, it's going to hold a lot of power. You're going to be able to charge all your devices. This is a lot more heavy duty than just my EDC Anchor power banks and stuff like that. So this thing also has an air compressor, and it's a cheap one. It's not the greatest one in the world, but you know what? This thing is a really nice, heavy. It's well built. I mean, it's plastic, but you know, it's not bad. And I've been happy with it so far. We have one in each one of the cars in pretty much my family, and we all use these, and they're all pretty good jumper cables. But for an emergency in the house, you're gonna use it to power your devices and whatever. But you should only be powering your devices in case of an emergency anyway. You know, you don't need to be scanning Instagram. So, but that's, you know, up to you. Like I said, the dog stuff. So let's get into some tools you gentlemen should be keeping around your houses. More or less apartments, right? All right, so this is my little area here. I keep a snow shovel, good snow shovel. And this is apartment life, so this is some of the things you know, do if you have an apartment. But this is my hockey stuff. I've played hockey for years. It's a lot of hockey gear back there, but everything else is pretty organized. Get yourself a good pair of snow gloves. You know, these are the ones that Ski Patrol uses. They're waxed. They're awesome. There's a gun cleaning tools. This is not important, but mainly what we're going to want to get into is a bucket. Get yourself a good, nice 5-gallon bucket, and then a dirt bucket for dirty stuff, you know, and then maybe get yourself a good cooler. That's not a good cooler, but get a good one. And then tape. I keep all the tape here, just duct tape, different tapes and stuff. And now down in here is where I keep my tools for the apartment, and just different like little tools to, you know, take stuff apart. You got a good socket set, a nice little hammer, screwdrivers, just your basic stuff. A nice Craftsman wrench set, you know. So screwdrivers, vice grips are always good to have around. Wire cutters. Now these are not like, this is just real basic stuff, guys. I have tons of tools at work, you know, but these are just some things I keep around my apartment. I have this thing set for my squat racks. I don't have to dig around. That's the thing I take apart the most, and really the only thing I have to take apart right now is that if I needed to. So that's why it's set on that. Storm is invading my space completely. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. But that's some things you can keep around the house, you know. And that's just a little cobalt rolly tool thing. I got a bunch of Powerade, but I think it's bad. Okay, guys, so that's my little home prepping stuff that I keep around my house every winter. I make sure I have these things just in case. These are the things that you need and are essential. I don't know if I mentioned, but water is very important, so get yourself a way to purify water. Worst comes to worst, you could fill up your bathtub with water. You could fill up bags of ice and freeze them. And if you do that now, maybe if you have a little extra cash, see if you can find an extra freezer. Maybe if you have the room for it. Extra freezers are great. There used to be one in this back room. The lady that lived here before, actually kind of like my step grandmother, but she had a freezer in this back room. So yeah, that's some of the stuff, and I'm just doing my little inventory for the winter, making sure, because it's going to start getting cold out here in Philly and snow. So it's been okay so far, but you know, that doesn't mean slack off. So that's what I'm doing. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.